What's up, everyone? How are y'all doing? TC Tech Killer here with my second edition of the Pac-12 predictions for the weekend. This is week 12 of the 2012 season, and there are some nice matchups on the slate this weekend. I went 6 for 6 last weekend, hitting the sort of upset of Oregon State by Stanford, and I almost picked perfectly the California-Oregon game, which I did get to watch. I turned it on about the starting of the third quarter, and I was shocked when I watched the drive that put the Bears within one touchdown, and I was thinking it's not going to be a good day for Oregon and going to be a weird weekend as Alabama dropped early that day. But thankfully, they got it in motion. Mariota got it in gear and led his team to a huge victory in the third and fourth quarter, pulling away from the Bears. First off, talk a little bit about the game that you're seeing right now. It's the third week in the season. We travel to Miami for a Florida International game. The FIU Golden Panthers. We do come out with a victory, 31-6, and as you will see, we do put in our second stringers in the second half, and I will talk a little bit more and recap this game at the end. But first, let's get to some picks. Alright, the first game of this week is Arizona at Utah. Matt Scott is probable this week for Arizona, and Utah is in need of 2 wins to close out the season, so a big task, but they do play Colorado next week, so that is almost a certain win. They just need to win this one today. It's in Salt Lake City, so good chance we can see a great game here. Arizona doesn't travel the best. I'm going to pick Arizona to still win, though, 31-27 because of their offense. Utah is decent. They're kind of balanced, but kind of balanced badly. Arizona, not as good defense, but really good offense. Not really good, but good. B.J. Denker did complete most of his passes last week in replacement of Matt Scott. So I see an Arizona victory, and Utah will not become bowl eligible. The next game on the slate is Washington State Cougars at the Arizona State Sun Devils. It's down in Arizona, and Washington State is still searching its first conference win. Interesting news about star wide receiver Marquise Wilson, and I don't know if you've been following it at all, but he is claiming that the staff of Mike Leach is abusing the players physically and emotionally, and the Pac-12 and Washington State is investigating it. So it's interesting to see how that will play into it, how the morale will be of the players, and how they are focused and well prepared for the Sun Devils. The Sun Devils need one more win to become bowl eligible. They've lost 4 straight, but they should get this one, especially at home. I'm going to say 31-21. It just depends on whose defense comes to play and how the attitudes are of both teams. All right, the next game we have here is Washington at Colorado. Colorado is 1-9 this year, with its only win coming against Washington State in the fourth quarter comeback. Washington is ranked in the BCS for the first time this year, and they're looking to build on that and build off of their bowl eligibility that they earned last game, hopefully to climb into a good ranking next season. They finished the season off with Colorado and then Washington State, 2 of the Pac-12's worst team. Bishop Sankey has been running very well as of late. I think he's close to 400 yards in the past 2 games, and he should do very well against this Colorado defense, which is ranked last in the Pac-12 rushing. Austin Severian-Jenkins got nominated for the Mackey Award for best tight end in the country, and he should be getting the ball a lot as Washington goes to a 27-14 win over the Buffs. The fourth game in the Pac-12 this weekend, California at Oregon State. Oregon State dropped a close game to Stanford last week. They are ranked 16th in the BCS, one of 4 teams ranked in the 10th through 20 range in the BCS. Still impressive season for them, 7-2, but they want to build some momentum going into the Civil War next week against Oregon. Cal just keeps going lower and lower with a bad loss to Oregon last week. They're now 3-8 in the season. This is their final game, and maybe the final game of Tedford's tenure there. I don't see the Bears picking up a win here. 14-28 in Corvallis in favor of the Beavers. Probably setting up a good Civil War next week in Corvallis. One of the final games we got here, I was deciding between this and the next one for the game of the week. This one, if it goes the wrong way, could end up playing a big part in the Pac-12 North race. It is Stanford at Oregon. Stanford ranked 13th in the BCS this week after their win at Oregon State. Not at Oregon State, against Oregon State. Oregon number 2 after Alabama dropped out, and they inched closer to Kansas State in the BCS standings. They have the number 1 in the human polls and should improve their computer rankings with a ranked Stanford this weekend, a ranked Oregon State next weekend, and then the presumably ranked South champion in the Pac-12 title game. So this one is a really motivating game. Keep them on track, especially what they saw happen to Alabama last week. Stanford's 8-2, so this could come down to a tiebreaker if Stanford pulls out the upset. Oregon, a couple games left, and they are in the BCS title game. I don't think they're going to stop now. Mariota played very well last week, and he will look to continue that again. He had 27 for 34 passing with 377 yards and 6 touchdowns with no interceptions. He'll probably play a full game this weekend, as I expect it to be somewhat close, but Oregon eventually will win it 38-21. I don't think Stanford can stop the Oregon offense for too long, but it will at first, I believe. But then some separation in the second half, like we saw last week against the Golden Bears. All right, and that leads us to the final game, the game of the week. USC at UCLA. They are right next to each other. BCS ranking-wise, USC 18, UCLA 17. Battle for LA actually means something. The first time it has in a few years. UCLA hasn't won since 5 or 6 years ago. They have 4 straight wins coming into this game, coming to a surprising 8-2 record, while USC 7-3. UCLA, a lot of youth, inexperience, while USC has that talented group of Barkley and Woods and Lee. I expect that to be the deciding factor, even if it's at UCLA Stadium. It's still LA. It's going to be an exciting atmosphere. I wish I could go, but I think USC will pull it off. 41-35. UCLA might get a final drive, but I don't think they will be able to complete that, as USC captures the South crown and goes to the Pac-12 title game. Okay, and that'll do it for the Pac-12 this week. The Week 12 predictions. We'll see next week how I did. I just want to recap this game before the gameplay is over. We have 46 plays in this one, a lot of plays. We get 15.5 minutes of possession. That's over 3 quarters. Moore goes 10 for 16 for 146 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And the backup Williams comes in the fourth quarter, 2 for 2 and 35 yards. In the backfield, Davis goes 15 carries for 82 for 5.4 yards per carry. Alexander, 143 yards and 12 carries for 11.9 yards per carry, and that long 66-yard touchdown. So we jump up to 3-0 on the year, going into our conference schedule. That will come up next video. So I just want to thank you for watching. Give it a like real quick, and check back next week. Thank you.